For reasons I shall not discuss in this video, it has been quite some time since I've been able to ride. I wanted something non-drama today that didn't take a lot out of me and can get me rolling back into the swing of things. Luckily, I own arguably the easiest motorcycle to ride, the Triumph Bonneville T100. Today's ride is not only on this beautiful motorcycle, but it's in the beautiful Arizona desert. Just want to give you a little panorama of what we're riding in today. Still a little warm, but not too bad. Absolutely beautiful day, as many are here in Arizona. You'd be hard pressed to wake up on a dreary day, that's for sure. Well, I chose this bike over my KTM 1090 Adventure R. An awesome bike. KTM's just everything I could want in an adventure motorcycle, or even a dual sport motorcycle. However, for multiple reasons, it can be not difficult to ride, but it is a technical bike to ride. It's got a lot of electronic gewgaws and it's tall, but I'm not here to rip down my own motorcycle. It's just, for me, whatever, for my own mindset, it does take a little bit more to ride a adventure motorcycle, especially just on some day when you just want to take a leisurely ride. And that's why I chose the Bonneville. Bonneville is my secondary motorcycle. Sold my dirt bike last year for reasons I shall not discuss in this video. And I purchased this as a commuter. I think I've told this story before. And it has just become part of my stable. Bought it when gas prices were super high, and they seem to be coming up again. However, multiple factors of this motorcycle made me keep it. Triumph Bonneville is a very unassuming yet very capable motorcycle. A lot of folks call it a entry-level or beginner's motorcycle, and I don't quite like those terms. I encourage folks to start out with probably like a 250 dual sport or something like that, and as your second bike, I would even encourage people to do that, especially if you are road orientated. There's a lot of fun you can have on a small single-cylinder motorcycle. And while many motorcycles are arguably, Google the word, entry-level motorcycles, to me, I figure entry-level is buy the motorcycle you want. Don't let anything else or what anybody else says deter you. However, I believe the Bonneville would be a decent motorcycle for someone to start out with or get back into the game with, but I wouldn't discount it for an experienced rider. Just ergonomically, you've got about a low 30s inch seat height, nice wide seat. You have an upright, not aggressive and not relaxed seating position, just a very comfortable seating position. As many entry-level riders like to have is that flat footing when you're stopped, which that's not necessarily a true thing, and you need to get used to. Well, that's a different video. However, you have a very easy to stop at stoplights and stop signs and park and stuff like that. It's just a very relaxed ergonomics. And by simply leaning forward, or you can become more aggressive on the bike, or simply moving around on the seat, you can make yourself a little more comfortable and change your leg positions and your butt position and stuff like that on longer rides. Has very manageable linear power, has plenty of power. Aside from what other folks say, it's got plenty of power. You just need to know how to ride it. It's very linear, torquey power, and just very enjoyable power band. If you're riding a motorcycle that's over 100 horsepower, it really demands focus. And if you're not focused on a 100 plus horsepower motorcycle, and 100 horsepower is not that much these days, you're going to get a surprise one day. But a sub 100 horsepower motorcycle, if you get down into the 60s and 70s like this motorcycle is, that laser focus, not that you don't have to pay attention on a motorcycle at all times, but it's not as conscious robbing as a more powerful motorcycle. There's also not a lot of electronics to fiddle around with and worry about and think about. The clocks look analog. They are digital, but they are analog. Kind of gives you just kind of a calming feeling over a strictly LCD dash, or whatever the other ones are called. Kind of that blue screen thing that everybody talks about. It's more of just a relaxing informational experience. There's no temperature on here. It doesn't give you a whole lot of information other than, you know, what gear. I mean, there's a gear indicator, there's a clock, fuel gauge, and distance to empty is what I'm looking at right now. And as far as modes go, you can either turn off traction control, turn it back on, or turn off ABS or turn it on. There's no ride modes to worry about. It is the motorcycle. They've given you 100% of the horsepower right up front and ready to go. It is a beautiful sounding motorcycle, just in stock form. Typically I will add some type of aftermarket exhaust to save weight and increase the sound, not necessarily to make it louder, but to get sound out of the bike. Most bikes today are choked off at the muffler with very heavy silencers and catalytic converters. And that makes me want to, you know, reduce weight and get some sound out of the bike. I know that the modern Harleys, the new Harleys, are sound challenged these days and have a real muffled exhaust note. This bike, with its stock exhaust, has probably one of the best sounding exhaust that I've ever heard. It's very soothing, verbal. I would not change. I had thought about it when I first purchased the motorcycle, but the more I rode it, the more I enjoyed the exhaust, the note, the sound, the dB level is, you can even hear it at speed. I don't know if you can hear it very well from inside my helmet, but even at 70-75 miles an hour, you can still hear that exhaust just burbling away behind you. It is a very beautiful motorcycle. The lines, the colors that they've chosen, the detail and the craftsmanship that they put into painting their tanks, the components that they put on these bikes. And I know some folks don't like Nissan and all that stuff, but everything is done very well. And you will probably need to lengthen your ride times because the bike is very approachable. It is a very welcoming motorcycle, and you will get everything from old timers that owned one back in the day to folks that have no idea about motorcycles, or young folks that are, hey, what do you think of that bike? I was thinking about getting one. Will stop you at every rest stop, gas station, convenience store, parking lot, just to say hi and ask you about your bike. I really like the suspension on this bike. It gives you, I think, about 5 inches of travel, quite a bit more than a lot of the cruiser-based bikes, and not so much that you see on dual sport or adventure bikes, which kind of gives you enough comfort while riding without having to kick your leg up above your waist to get over the top of the seat. My favorite thing about this motorcycle is the ability to exit your garage, get onto the street without any plans. You can literally, I know that word's overused, go anywhere your headlight points within reason. You could leave your house and ride in an urban environment. If you wanted to go check out all the murals and the tagging and all that stuff downtown and go to your coffee shop and all that, it's 5-speed and mild manners will take you there in comfort and not a lot of complexity. If your headlight points you in the direction of curvy roads like I'm on today, you could ride them at a spirited level, at a leisurely level, and it will definitely handle that. The 18-inch front tire and the 17-inch 150 rear tire give you a planted feel at nearly any speed. And if ridden correctly, it can get pretty spirited. You can really have a good time on a twisty road on this bike. If the spirit moved you, you could jump on a freeway and head 300 miles away from here, go to Vegas and stay overnight, hit the super slab, and it would be just as comfortable at 75 or 80 miles an hour as it would downtown at 25 or 30 miles an hour. In addition to that, if you're traveling along a road like this and you saw a dirt 2-track road that really moved your heart to go chase it down, you could put your directional on, point your front tire down that road, and enjoy quite a bit of it. I'm not talking this thing can do 2-track, you're not going to rock hop with it, but most forest roads, gravel roads, 2-track roads, this bike could definitely handle it, especially with a good set of tires. I invite you to take a look at some of my off-road videos and my review on putting adventure motorcycle tires on this bike. And if you really wanted to, and I have, you could affix saddlebags and a large dry bag to the bike. You've got plenty of room back there. You could go on overnight rides, extended rides, pretty much everything that'll fit on my big KTM I could fit onto this bike in the 2 saddlebags and a dry bag. I could do solo motorcycle camping, I could camp at campgrounds, stealth camp, you name it. You could stay off of this bike. You could use it to go to hotel rooms for night to night. You've got plenty of space, some real estate in the backside of this motorcycle to get some good sized saddlebags on, and like I said, even get a duffel type dry bag on the top of it. You could really utilize this motorcycle as your one motorcycle in the stable bike. For the horsepower enthusiast or the off-road enthusiast or people that have specific slots, it would probably be a better second bike for them. But it is just so you could roll out of your garage, like I said, with no real plan, and you know, let the wind carry you where you may. That's what's really so nice about this bike, and makes it so easy to ride. It just whatever you run into, you don't really have a fear of not being able to handle it. With all these things that I've mentioned and more that I haven't mentioned, makes this Triumph Bonneville T100 the easiest motorcycle, in my humble opinion, to ride. It's the bike that, when I just don't want to think about stuff, get stuff off my mind, I can jump on it and go. If I just want to jump on the bike, ride around the neighborhood a quarter mile, half mile, and then put it back in the garage, this is the bike I probably take. If I'm not feeling well, if I just want to get out on the motorcycle and I'm tired or sick for some reason, not that I'm sick a lot, but it's just something you can just jump on and feel comfortable going for a ride, and as I said earlier in the video, without a lot of drama. I want to thank you for watching this video. Especially if you've listened this far or watched this far. I thank you for taking the time out of your day to listen to my ramblings about this bike. And if I've at all entertained you, I invite you to subscribe. It's free. To ding that bell so you get notified when I do put up new videos. It gives you a notification. That's also free. Please comment, like, and share. All these things help this channel. They get me in the algorithms. They help me to expand the channel. And it's just nice to get some feedback on these videos. It takes a lot of work to put into them. So Thanks for watching. Appreciate you watching. Adios.